just that there's a couple of places you can get some tree pulls early on. Nice starting with a heart right away.
That's a relief.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright. Yeah, it looks like Qirn is doing what you predicted. There's a statue you can pull over here.
Oh, nice full magic drop there. Magic can be pretty tricky to get early on unless you go into Skullwoods.
Yeah, it looks like we're also going to get a look at the Swamp Palace hint.
Yeah, and Tail got 20 rupees there from the Stumpy, so that's enough to do the archery game. And if you do this correctly, you will be gaining money real quick, so that's enough to do the digging game. Qirn is heading to the shop, question mark, without money. Oh, he's setting up another tree pull, I'm guessing. Or realizing that he doesn't have the money for the bombs.
Alright, and the other tree pull was just some small magic. So, just to kind of recap for inverted, you need the Moon Pearl to get into the light world. All of your portals, so your portals in the dark world, they normally be in the light world to take you to the dark world, or actually in the dark world, they take you to the light world instead. There's some terrain changes to support some places that normally you'd have to use the mirror to get to. And a whole bunch of other things that we'll probably see throughout the course of this match.
Yeah, it's interesting how just like a few changes can just change routing completely. Nice hammer there from the Sea House in Village Outcast. That's a big find right away. We also got the silvers earlier, by the way, in the dig game. So we don't have the bow yet, but it's definitely nice getting those silvers for when you do find the bow. So Qirn now in Skullwoods, as you predicted. We might see someone do early. It's a nice guaranteed way to get some bombs. And well, there's a mirror. Mirror is like super useful in inverted. So it's really nice to get that early.
Yeah, so in inverted, the mirror actually works in the light world and takes you to the dark world.
Yeah, exactly. So even though some of the normal mirror spots don't require mirror anymore, the mirror can be required for so many other stuff instead. Like getting into Turtle Rock, for example. So Tail, first one to head into Hype Cave. Really the only big place to find a lot of chests right next to each other. Getting the ice rod, which is nice, but we don't really need that right now. So for that, not much really.
It's still nice to have it checked off, though, just in case
for sure.
TR ends up being a crystal.
Yeah, so this is how we get to that point where inverted is kind of linear. All of a sudden, we only have Thieves Town on the pyramid and basically pot left. And Thieves Town definitely seems like the the best option. Worst case scenario, you can at the very least full clear it. Oh, I haven't seen a map check from any of our runners yet. The map check, like the early map checks, is really interesting because you get like 7 dungeons that you can do a map check from right off the gate.
So that was a bottle and chest game, it looked like, and Taale just immediately gets rid of that bee.
Yeah, definitely indicates that Taale might be heading for a potion here. There is a shop here that is accessible when you have the hammer. So that's a good thinking if you're gonna head into Feast Town. Oh no, they're actually 8 rupees short. That's actually super unfortunate. Yeah, because that's a normal shop since it's a red potion costs 150 instead of 120.
Qirn now has his digging game money, and Taale is gonna go farm up even more money. This is a very popular spot in Inverted just because it is a really relatively easy source of early money.
Yeah, it's interesting how Archer game very quickly went from something that no one ever does into something that's basically just a standard thing to do in Inverted.
And Qirn also picking up the silver arrows from the digging game.
And here we have our map check. We have, yeah, all the pendants in the Dark World. Looks like Swamp was the green one, and the other two on Pod and Mire.
Yes.
Did you manage to catch where the 5, 6? Oh, there is
5 was at TR.
Yeah, and the other one looks like it was in the Light World. So in this shop here that Qirn went into, normally it's just a red potion there, but since you getting magic in a bottle can be required for things like Spike Cave sometimes, in Inverted that will have a blue potion instead, since you might not have access to the potion shop in the Light World.
Right, Taale's giving us our first look of Thieves Town. Just a piece of heart. I'm suspecting Qirn is probably going to be here in just a second too.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of options unless, okay, he was for a moment there I thought that maybe he was gonna bomb jump though to the East Dark World, but he just took a little bit of a detour. Ooh, Taale getting hit there by one of the yeah, that's unfortunate. 4 hearts is really not much to play around with when you're in the Dark World. It's basically a 2-shot from most enemies.
And there's nothing more fun in Inverted than being forced to do blind with 3 or 4 hearts and the hammer.
Right. One of the reasons why Inverted become a little bit dreaded for its higher difficulty in terms of the early game for sure. Both Blind and Mothula stands for most of that. And that's an unfortunate overworld death. But it's pretty fast to get back since we start in the Dark World anyways, so it's not as big of a time loss as it would be normally when you die at that place.
It's true.
So Tail heading back into Skullwoods again. We saw from Qirn earlier that it wasn't really anything. I don't even know if he got a single item from Skullwoods. And if he did, it wasn't really anything of importance.
Yeah, I don't recall anything important being in here. So. Alright, so that's our first item. Alright.
So they're pretty much catched up now on items.
Yeah, and the big key chest had just a map in it. So there's still one item outstanding in Skullwoods.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice heart drop there. I see a lot of full magics as drops from the enemies so far. That's kind of nice if that's gonna continue. Right now they don't really have a use for the magic. I guess they can use the ice rod, but it's not super useful quite yet. See Qirn just picking up the key and then heading straight up to check the hint first. Unique item by someone friendly, so that's... well, it's not the best hint, but it's definitely an okay one. There's a lot of friendly NPCs, so it can pretty much point them in any direction. But it's definitely something to keep in mind.
We'll have to keep an eye out for when we see that hint come true. It could play into the game later, especially if all of our early NPC checks come out with nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So Tail heading back into Feaston as well. Wouldn't it be ironic if we spend a lot of time here in Feaston and then progression is just sitting on Pyramid anyways? It's kind of interesting, they did get the bottle, which does make pot a little bit more interesting, because you do have the possibility of potion glitching if you want them. So you could full clear everything except for the boss in pot if you decide to go there.
That's right, Qirn does not have gloves. He has to take the long way around. And Tail is also heading back in. Our progression just has to be, you're right, it has to be either here or Pyramid Fairy or like the first chest and pod.
Yeah, or well, not Pyramid Fairy itself, but on the pyramid.
Oh yeah, Pyramid, yeah.
So they got the small key. They do have the hammer. Let's see what's in the big chest. It's a full heart. That's actually not bad because we're about to fight blind. It's not progression, but it's definitely appreciated.
Yeah, it's not 3 heart, but 5 heart is still a fun time here.
Yeah, If you get hit by the heads or the laser, you can only take 2 hits, basically. And the fireballs, at least you can take 4 hits. Qirn down 2 hearts, but is past the first 2 phases at least. Only 1 more hit here. Ooh, that was a close one. Going for some pulse buffers here. That's a pretty good way of trying to stay clear, and nice finish.
Indeed.
And yeah, I guess there's nothing in the Waves down. But that's our first crystal though. So that's always something.
Alright. So a low health blind was not required this time around.
Yeah, I always get baited by that one in inverted. I'm like, yeah, there's no way I'm not gonna be able to skip this. Ooh, that's a really unfortunate fall there. Taylor's gonna have to be really careful here now. Ah, that's
unfortunate.
Yeah. We'll see if they might actually press save and continue, so they're gonna give it another shot. If you take multiple deaths, it could be a good idea to think of like, okay, this is not the only thing I can check right now. So maybe, yeah, we'll see if that happens again. Maybe that actually is gonna send them into the right direction instead. You save this for later.
There's our Moon Pearl.
Yeah, that's a pretty required item. I know Qirn himself doesn't really like the Moon Pearl very much, but he seems to pick it up anyways.
Alright, so that's part 2 of our Light World access package.
Yeah, we only need a glove now to have proper Light World access. Definitely means that Aga is not required for the Light World, because in order to get to Aga, you're gonna need the glove anyways.
And a sword.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see what this first chest is. I'm suspecting this is probably gonna be a key. I bet you it's not.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if it's just a key and then we have something in the back or something. So, did Qirn buy a bottle or buy a potion before I wonder?
I do not recall. I don't think he did.
Okay, it looks like he only has a bead, so he's not going to be able to do the bow side unless he manages to luckily pick up the bow in here. Taylor is making it down to the maiden chest here. He's going to pick up the maiden, get the heart from the big chest, and then take care of blind. We keep finding some small keys here in Palace of Darkness. Something that's pretty much you expect to see that. In the first 6 chests in the front here, 4 of them is guaranteed to be small keys, but all of them really could be.
Yeah, like that was a key for a key in this case.
Yeah. So yeah, 4 out of 4 small keys so far. Makes that that potion that they possibly could have brought with them even more exciting, but
sword.
Okay, so something sharp. Yeah, what was the other thing?
It was in the western side of Swap Palace.
Okay, it said sword. Did it say the other item too?
Oh, I missed that. Chat might need to help. Cash and a sword. Okay.
Okay, so what's our plan here? Oh, okay, I see what's going on here. We're doing the so this is a glitch that we found out not too long ago, that you can despawn one of the red mimics in Gannis Tower. I think this is the same trick, but in this room instead. So by doing some repeatedly inputs here over and over again, you can actually make the red mimic walk into the wall and then off the screen. Oh no! Tail took a deaf and blind right before using the red potion.
I think this setup for it is probably harder than...
Yeah, at this point it probably would have been faster just to go out of your way to buy a potion on the way over here. Well, it's a good backup strategy, I guess. I know I always forget to buy potions before heading to Pod.
Oh, Qirn loves his glitches.
Yeah, I think it's like frame perfect inputs over and over again, which is why he's using the pulse buffer here, because it's really hard to get frame perfect inputs over and over again, as it turns out. But you can see that the mimic is slowly walking inside a wall.
I mean, there you go.
There we go. So that's one way of doing it.
It's the bottleless version of that.
Yeah. Oh, and Tail is really having a rough time at the moment in Feast Town, but seems committed to clearing it out. And I can't blame them. Like, if progression is here, you don't want to leave it, but it's a hard fight, especially when you have to do the refight. Makes it even harder because you can't really get any free hits at the beginning.
And see, we know that there's nothing here, but he doesn't, so that's probably why he's keeping at this, and I don't blame him. Just, yeah, now he's off script.
Yeah, he's waiting for Blind to come down. Makes it a little bit... Oh, no.
No, and then Qirn did find a glove upgrade.
Yeah, and that's Life World access. Also, on the Bolak side, we saw that there was another small key, so that was 5 small keys in total.
Plus, I think we saw just another small key just now, so I think we have all 6 accounted for.
Yeah, that should be all of them. Also have the big key, so pretty much only items and the map and the compass right now. So it looks like Tail is deciding to skip Blaine for now. Interesting that they're doing the bomb jump, since they do have access to just walking over to the pyramid from Link's house. But getting the bomb jump first try, so that's awesome. It's one of the new techs to get over to the East Dark World, and I believe that Qirn was actually the one who pioneered that bomb jump.
Yeah, Qirn's gonna use the hammer to feel around in here.
I think this is my least favorite dark room in the game, when you don't have the sword. Having the ice rod actually kind of helps though, can freeze some of the enemies to minimize the chances of taking damage. You can even pick up the enemies and use that to guide your way around. And Golden Bee works too, takes care of enemies and then just hangs around you so you can see where you are.
Alright. I think that leaves us with one item left in pod to find.
Yeah, no, unless this is the bow, which actually couldn't be because the big key was on the bow lock side. We're out of here. But pretty much the world is our oyster right now. We can do basically anything in the light world, well, and the overworld light world at the very least. So yeah, there's plenty of options to go around. Qirn seems to be heading towards the Kakariko portal, so just clearing out Kakariko to begin with seems like a pretty good option. There's definitely the highest concentration of items. So yeah, Taale is not too far behind Qirn, even though they had some issues earlier in Feast Town. They're in Palace of Darkness now, so they're about to get their Light World access as well. And do still have a potion, so they can do the potion glitch as well.
Alright. Qirn giving us the long way around look here. Heart container, that's pretty good.
That's, yeah, for sure. Especially when you're sitting Greenmail, you want to get as many hearts as possible. 300 rupees isn't bad as well. Not exactly what maybe he was hoping to find, but now we definitely have our money for Sora whenever we come around to that.
I think
so
we're
yeah, Qirn is riding in the Lumberjack now, and I like this because normally you can use Shake Lumberjack whenever you get the boots. It's a fast shake to do, but in Inverted, you're not going to start in the Light World, so it might take a while before you get back here again.
Nope. Just a piece of heart today.
Yeah, looks like Aga is pretty dead in the seed.
Alright, I think we're gonna get a look at Back of Escape. And Sank, yep.
Actually walking into Sank, which is interesting. It might signalize possibly that Qirn will be saving and quitting from the Back of Escape. Because otherwise he could have jumped into the Back of Escape and then just taken the Sanctuary chest on the way out.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so he's gonna... Yeah, so this is a change in Inverted. They put a ladder there so you can get up here because you can't nor use the mirror in Inverted to get to this location. There's a heart container.
Yeah, all those hearts that we wanted earlier. Typical Inverted. So our second 5-6 crystals look to be at Eastern. So Tail now with life roll access as well is gonna head into the portal over at Link's house instead. Qirn got a small key from the back of escape, so he's gonna do the dark cross sewishes as well. A little bit tricky doing the key rat with bombs in the dark. Might actually switch over to the ice rod instead and try and freeze one of the rats and then just use that as a weapon, because you have unlimited tries with that one. You're running out of bombs quickly here, Qirn. It looks like we're just gonna take that later. And there's a fire rod in the dam, so we'll fire rod and ice rod already. Okay, so Qirn decided to walk out after all. And seems to be heading over to Kakariko while Tail is going to take care of South Shore.
Yeah, once you get your light world access in inverted, there's just so much more density in the light world overworld that, yeah, you just have so much you can do at that point.
Yeah, this is the part that gets to me every time. I'm like, okay, inverted, what am I gonna do next? And it never seems to be the right option, whatever I do. I like the early game, and the late game I'm like, can we just replay the early game again? Qirn is just using that mirror to take away every single block he can see. Hey, there's a flute! That's a pretty convenient place to find it. Won't be able to use the flute in the light world, but we have to activate it where we normally do it in the light world, and then we can use it in the dark world instead. So Tail heading over to Ice Road Cave, Qirn getting a B. Well, the first B turned out to be useful, so maybe this one will too.
There's our first
sword. Ah, yeah, that's pretty high.
Yeah, our first sword of the game.
Confirmed not swordless.
And Qirn also getting Zorid.
So Tail is probably gonna catch up on Qirn here in Kakariko after doing South Shore. Got Mushroom and Fire Rod basically from the South Shore shakes. One of them also it could be a good item, and one of them is definitely required. So we actually have Mothula completely open now with both that sword and the Fire Rod. So Qirn running out of bombs right as they pass a shop that just happens to sell bombs. Isn't that convenient?
Indeed. And then also gonna take that bottle of Sick Kid.
Yeah, shake out my B. Oh, I got a cane. That Sick Kid is gonna have a lot harder time walking now.
Yeah, what a monster, Qirn. Seriously.
Yeah. Every time I see Qirn play, he's always a monster. So full transparency, I'm actually on Team Old Swagger Jackson. So you might think I'm biased, but I'm not. because I'm also a friend with Qirn, so I love to see him fail and do stupid things. So I think that balances that.
I'm a bit biased too because he's a co-admin on a tournament that I'm on. So there's that too. But we'll try to keep things fair and balanced here.
So you ever see some of the uses with the mirror that you normally would not see? Yeah, you don't need any Titan Smiths to get that frog today, because you can use Mirror Tomb instead, and then go turn it in. And then you can even mirror to do the Hammer Pigs and grab the purple chest as well. So that's a pretty neat way of using the mirror that you would absolutely not ever be able to do in a normal seed.
Yeah, I think the only Mitts lock location inverted is that's King's Tomb, isn't it?
Yeah, that's you always need myths to get to King's Tomb, but almost any other myths location you could potentially get without it if you get the right items, and most of the times that correct item is the mirror. It's just so useful in inverted, it's pretty crazy.
Just $20. Alright. Tail is also, is he gonna go for Dark Cross?
Looks like it has the fire rod, so that's gonna make okay, never mind. But yeah, with the fire rod, definitely makes the dark rooms easier. But it makes sense to save it too, because I'm not sure if they got the map or not, but if they didn't get the map yet, then the Dark Cross could definitely just be a map instead, so they can save that until after they do the front of escape. Okay, we did get a map actually.
So this is another change of inverted. This area was flattened out because of mirror. So that way you can still access it.
Hey, there's powder just as we're leaving Kakariko. That's very not convenient at all. I guess we should have gone to Kakariko from Link's house, I say. But then we couldn't bring the purple chest, so it's a lose-lose situation, whatever we do.
And we still haven't seen the unique item on an NPC. I think that might be it.
I think that purple chest actually doesn't count as a unique as an NPC.
Okay.
I might be wrong, but I think that's the case.
No, I think you're right, actually.
We got Ice Rod from Hype Cave. Do we remember if the NPC had it or not?
No, it was in the chest.
Okay.
Another area that's flattened out for inverted.
Yeah, the only green spot in the other pale desert.
Qirn feels comfortable with his health level. He's just going to leave that heart container behind.
Yeah, we're kind of out of this stingy early game. And now that we have a lot of more equipment and safeties, it's about the time where you can start saying no to hearts. Tail is actually taking a pretty interesting route here, and it's gonna head up to Sora. Doesn't have the flippers, so can't do the waterfall, but we'll use the mirrors, so can check both Catfish and Sora. Both of them are NPCs, so we might get to see that unique item. So use a heart piece from Catfish, and now we don't got time for that.
Maya requires Quake.
Well, it just happens to be the medallion we have. However, we don't have a way to actually do anything in Mario yet. We need boots or hookshot to actually be able to do anything useful. So yeah, normally in like in a normal seed, you could just mirror from Mire into desert, but since the mirror only works in the light world, that's not really an option anymore. So the book is always required for desert. If it's a crystal, which it is today, it almost makes it a second ice run. And hey, Sword from Sora, not unique, but definitely nice to have.
Yeah, so chat brings up a point. Sick Kid did have some Mario, and I bet you that's probably where our hint was.
Ah, yeah, right.
But Tail doesn't know that yet.
Yeah, Sick Kid gotta be the friendliest of the friendliest persons. Really starting to catch up on these hearts now. Qirn up to 11, even though he skipped up some of them.
Alright, I think we're gonna get our look at the front half of the skate, or yeah, Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, getting the Dark Cross is gonna be a lot easier now than you. First of all, you do it from the front. You're gonna have to worry about the rat, and also you have a sword at this point. There's some Master Sword for Tail. It's gonna be getting all the good stuff here in Kakariko. It wasn't like an over generous Kakariko in any sorts, but it was definitely some good things to be had.
These are bug net.
So one combination of items that are usually pretty big in a normal seed would be one we have now, mirror, and then flute up to Death Mountain. However, you can't really mirror to get over to the east side of Death Mountain. So we're gonna need a hookshot for that, unless we get them. We could get the Titus Mitts as well. So that's probably why we see none of the runners really heading up there quite yet, because it's not too many items they can get up there. There's a couple, but it takes a while, and it's not super efficient right now.
Alright, so Qirn is gonna go for Dark Cross again. And on Tail's side, he's gonna be getting his Canis Mario after in a little bit here. He's on the way.
Yeah, and they're really starting to catch up on each other, both just retracing a few places. Well, I guess Escape we haven't really seen quite yet. Qirn might probably go to South Shore like Tail did after this. Ten arrows in the Dark Sword chest. Yeah, no, it's not much to be happy for, but you got it done. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Okay, so what's next for Qirn? He's heading. Where is he heading?
That's a good question. Maybe back to Kakariko Village?
Yeah, it might be.
The powder?
Yeah, the powder makes sense. So powder, you need the hammer 100% in inverted to the powder. Normally you can mirror to do that, but inverted, yeah, we're gonna say this a lot because the mirror works at different type. But yeah, use 20 rupees though, so nothing big. Or I guess we usually call the 20s big, so who knows.
Yeah, small 20 doesn't sound as good.
Yeah. Qirn is fluting to 4, so probably heading over to South Shore now. I'm gonna get the fire on, so that's pretty nice. It's gonna open up skull boots. That's one item, and also a crystal. So this could definitely be something on their mind. Qirn also has the money to do Sora, so might actually end the South Shore here with doing a fake flipper over to Sora area, and also get the waterfall at the same time.
The waterfall, the mirror to catfish. Yeah, there's a lot of synergy there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to even see Qirn just head into the other part of Ice Road Cave and just capture a fairy with the bug net, just in case there's something on Sora Ledge as well. So they can set up for the fake, well, not a fake flipper, fairy revival in case that's something. And with the mirror, is this actually one of the few times that it's convenient to check that hint over in the Dark World Ice Road Cave area? If they can use mirror and then check the hint real quick.
Yeah, it's not completely out of the way. It's a pretty clean Moldorm cave. Now, Taale also has this, but that mushroom, the mushroom can be a really painful thing to try to route in.
Yeah, you can't just flute to 2. It doesn't really work that way in inverted.
So we'll have to just see when they decide to actually put that into their route.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, it looks like Qirn is gonna get that fairy. You need to bomb that wall first. And Taale activating their flute.
Alright, and now Taale is gonna get his revenge on Blind.
Yeah, got Master Sword, got full health, can use the sword beams. Back for vengeance. Even has a Cane of Samaria if they want to go for that strand as well.
Looks like Qirn did opt not to check the hint that we were talking about.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I like seeing people do that hint because it's so rare you get to see that one. So, unfortunately, Taale placed that king block. He's a little bit too low, but still in a good pace here.
Oh. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, blind is very agile for being someone who can't use their eyesight. But we're just gonna head straight back in. We have definitely more hearts than last time anyway, so he's gonna go for another one. See if we use the Qirn right away here. That seems, yeah, that's a good position.
Be careful.
Whoa, and there's that's some sequence break if I ever saw one, getting the bow. That's normally blocked by flippers. Tail's gonna have to be careful here, use the potion. Sounds like a good idea. One more hit should do it.
Qirn.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, Qirn getting a B for a B.
Yeah. You can't get rid of those bees that easy. So big 20. So heading back to just do catfish. Qirn wanted to check that first in case there was something, because then using the mirror here is going to break the water walk. So yeah, that's bow is pretty big right now. Let's Qirn full clear 2 crystals at the moment, or actually 2 dungeons. Pot is actually a pendant. But it's locked by flippers, so the question is, where's flippers? Taylor's gonna head into the Skullwoods, and we do know there's one item left in there that could very well be it. It could potentially even be in Eastern, which would be kind of annoying to have. That would be technically doubled it at that point. And something we haven't seen from any of our runners is the Battle Satchel as well, which is free items right before Eastern. So that seems like a pretty logical play for Qirn probably to head after this. Might do a fake flipper over to the potion shop before that, just turn in the mushroom.
So this is another change of inverted. When you use the flute, works in the dark world.
Yeah, it's really convenient.
And then goes the light. And this is really nice, because if he wanted to go back into pod, in this case he's not probably going to, but if he needed to, he could just mirror in front of Eastern. He doesn't have to to do all that nonsense. Do that maze. He does have to still get Kiki in that case, but yeah.
Okay, some Mothla fight coming up, doing a combination of sword spins and fire rod shots, it looks like. Ooh, that was a pretty nice dodge there from the spikes.
Oh, be careful.
Take some damage to it. Yeah, it's gonna have to play careful from here on.
Alright, the hook shot was located by Qirn.
Yeah, that's quite a find. That opens up more or less everything on the mountain.
Taale. Our Taale is taking round 2 against Mothula.
Mm-hmm. Getting some nice hits in. But Mothula, yeah, Mothula is a really annoying boss in a lot of ways, but it's really hard dodging all this damage. But yeah, Taale gets the choice here between the beams and the spikes. Spikes, okay, never mind, not anymore. Oh, this is super close. Come on, Taale, we believe in you. Oh, no.
Yeah, really, the thing about Moth is really just controlling where Mothula sits on the map. Because if he gets in those spikes, that could really ruin your day.
Yeah, so every time you hit Mothula and Mothula gets knocked into the spikes, Mothula basically takes no damage from that. It just negates any damage that you did, which makes the fight go a lot longer than it should sometimes, and the longer the fight goes, the more chaotic it becomes. And still in Greenmail as well, which means that Mothula itself does 2 hearts. We also lost almost all our magic last fight, so it's gonna have to do this a little bit unconventional.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough health or enough magic, I think.
Yeah,
if he's getting grabbed.
Yeah, would need 3 fire rod shots at least, with not having the alarm. With having the mirror, it wouldn't be opposed to just like checking the other chest before going back at this point, just in case it's like if it's like something useful for the fight, even a heart that could be even enough to make the difference sometimes.
All right, you blinked and you missed it. That was Armos Knights.
Yeah, I believe I blinked, so
I did too. I just made assumptions.
Yeah. Yeah, silvers in combination with bow. That's one of those nice wombo combos you can have in this game. So Bacchus actually has harpies, a full heart, and another harpies.
So, where do you think Qirn's gonna go next? Probably maybe Death Mountain.
That's definitely where I would go if I was him. There's so much to do up there. You can full clear Tartarok, which is a crystal. You can full clear Hera, which is a crystal, and besides that, you have just a ton of items in Overworld. So no matter what medallion is required to get into Tartarok, we can still full clear it, because we can just use the mirror from the light world and go in through one of the other 3 entrances in Tartarok, which is a really neat way of doing Tartarok in Inverted that definitely reminds a lot how it works in Entrance Shuffle.
There's an armor upgrade.
Yeah, red mail saying up there.
Yep, so to get to that in Inverted, there's actually a staircase on the other side of the rock that you can actually then walk up.
And getting over to Hera, since you can't mirror up there, is always hammer locked, which is interesting. Inverted takes away the hammer requirements from Tartarok a lot of the times, but then adds it to Hera instead, so we still don't have the possibility to ever have hammer be in Ganon's Tower.
Yeah. And we did get confirmation that Pyramid Fairy is dead.
Oh, Taale got it done with half a heart left. Nice.
Nice.
Clutch sword spin at the end there.
That's another thing in Inverted. The way you rescue Old Man is in the Dark World. It's in that passage. So that's what Qirn is doing right now.
Yeah, and he also went over here in the Light World and then mirrored to the Dark World. So this way, Qirn won't have to go all the way up to the portal with the Old Man. He can just use this portal that he has now placed in advance right outside here. Which is a pretty neat way of doing it, because otherwise you have to walk all the way up and then walk all the way down again and then all the way up again. It's a pretty tedious way of returning the Old Man home. And there's our flippers. So that's lamp locked. Lamp is blocking flippers, which is blocking our bow. Our sequence breaks use continues at this point.
I mean, how much does that limit where the lamp could be at? I mean, it can't be in Swamp, we know that.
And it can't be in Ice Palace at this point. Could totally be in Tartarok or anywhere up here on the mountain, really. Except for the dark rooms, which we already saw. And Tail is heading up here as well, but does not have the hookshot. Oh, there's her boots. Okay. Wow.
That's
nice start for our Paradox Cave.
Oh, indeed.
So at this point, we're a book away from go mode from Qirn's side. And Bombos, we don't need that. Can be nice to have a nice pass down. And there's our book. That's go mode for Qirn at 1 hour and 2 minutes.
I think that Bombos medallion, I think maybe also resolves the sequence break. No, it doesn't. Never mind.
Yeah.
Depending on where Lamp's at.
It would be cool if you could use Bombos to light up the dark rooms, though.
Yeah, I was
totally before that.
There you go. VTorp, get on it.
And there's our lamp in Super Bunny Cave. So that answers a lot of questions. Qirn is probably not going to get that. Now, Qirn has done most of the dark rooms that he would have to do already, so not getting the lamp is not too much an issue. We're not going to have to worry about the torch glitch too much in the Ganon fight as well, since we have silvers. So, I would say the most tricky part of not having the lamp right now is just make sure you have enough magic for the torch rooms in Ganon's tower. Oh, and this is...
Oh, he's gonna do it.
Well, he can't do it though. Not without hookshot or boot, so...
Oh, that's right.
Actually not gonna hurt them too much, because they're quickly gonna realize that, wait a minute, I can't do this.
Yeah, he realizes.
Yeah, so that's kind of a blessing in one way. Looks like we're gonna head into Eastern, which is good in one way. It's gonna lead us to those to that hookshot. Didn't take care of the old man there up on Death Mountain after getting the lamp, unfortunately. That could have led them to getting the flippers before heading into Eastern. Qirn still checking a few things on the way. Still on Master Sword. Totally would prefer having tempered for heading into the rest of the boss fights, especially Ganon.
Yeah, Tempered Sword is just—it's such a huge. It just feels a whole lot better than Master Sword.
Yeah, most bosses, and especially Ganon, just becomes tons of not just easier, but also super faster with Tempered. Some sword spins intact with the music. Why not? I've heard that Qirn is a pretty what's it called? Creative person anyway, so just adding to the music score. Tail is heading to Front of Escape. I don't think we had anything that we really was required here. We had Ether and I want to say we had something else. I think it was Bugnet. So here we see Qirn just mirroring to Laser Bridge right away. The hopes of doing Turtle Rock and Go mode in inverted is just finding the big key and a small key here on Laser Bridge, and then you can head to TaaleNeko right away. There's a small key, no, you just need a big key. That's a big 20, so that doesn't really count. So yeah, looks like we're gonna have to backtrack in Turtle Rock until we get that big key, which is still like totally fine, because you can use mirror as soon as you find the big key, and you're gonna be back at Laser Bridge again.
You'll have to learn how to do this in reverse in the dark.
Yeah, you don't really take the same way as you do only in reverse, because you don't really need to hit that switch. So you just saw Qirn going to the left there and just steering up.
I mean, I'd say probably the way Turtle Rock plays out is probably my favorite part of Inverted.
Yeah, that's definitely the dungeon that changes the most in Inverted. It's also interesting Qirn did end up skipping the red mail, so probably feeling pretty comfortable in terms of health. So any checks that he's doing at this point, I'm gonna have to assume is for that sword.
It's also another route you don't usually take in TR. This is the way I think the game intended you to flow through here, but nobody ever does it because it's slower. Except when you want to go this way.
It's interesting how things works out sometimes. Starting to run out of options for that big key right now, and yeah, the chain jump still hurts in blue mail, so we're gonna have to play it a little bit more carefully here. Let's use the map, so on we go. Turns out the fastest way would have been to just open the front and do those shakes to begin with, but that's not the way to do it if you're a dreamer. If you're a dreamer, you just go to Laser Bridge and you hope that everything's gonna be fine.
I mean, like, the good news here though is that he's just gonna be able to mirror.
Yeah, for sure.
And get to the. Yeah.
It's gonna be super fast to get back.
Only Inverted will you last location the big key.
Yeah, the big key. Yeah, hard to do that in a normal mode, Turtle Rock. Oh, don't die here. That's a long way back if that happens. Yeah, you
literally last location.
Yeah. Tail heading up to shake the mushroom. unfortunately is not it. I could still get something useful here, like maybe half magic, but not any progression that we need. Okay, didn't actually turn into mushroom. Maybe did we see that already?
I will admit I wasn't paying attention.
Oh no, Tail, where are you going? Go back, save the old man.
No.
Makes sense they don't want to save the old man though, like it's Qirn after all. Why would you want to save your opponent?
Exactly. So it's 5 hammer hits per head.
Yeah, using some extra fire rod shots there while you can't menu and half a heart.
Alright,
Will
Qirn.
not get hit.
I think he has a fairy.
Oh yeah, he totally does, you're right.
Yeah, so...
And the worst part is over as well.
I probably shouldn't have said anything, it would have been more dramatic. But...
Come on, Qirn, die. Good.
Alright,
Okay,
there you go.
Now, let the drama begin again.
Alright, now he's in danger, everybody. But there you go.
And then now it's over. Until Shrine Next also has a fairy. No, it doesn't work, unfortunately.
So, Taale is... I think he's gonna go front to back, it looks like.
Yeah.
But he's not in go mode, so he's gonna clear this anyway. So any time saving from that has been negated.
Yeah, for sure. It's a pretty good check though. Like this makes sense. Like, hey, here's a dungeon,
Yep.
like full clear, and it's a crystal too.
Yeah, might as well do it.
So Qirn is now heading over to Skullwoods, then needs to take care of Ice Palace and Desert. Well, that's a lot of dungeons Qirn ends up getting to go mode. I guess Skullwoods is not technically a go mode because we already did the Ephraim part, but it's still like 4 legit go mode dungeons, which is like that's not every day you get to do that. Oh, and Tail is realizing no hookshot, so it's gonna have to take a return trip here. Well, nice full magic drop from one of the Gibdos there. That's pretty convenient, just as you used almost all of your magic. Nice monster effect there.
Yeah, it was pretty
and
good.
he doesn't get. I'm sorry. What were you gonna say?
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say he does end up getting the last item too. So if he for some reason was like getting baited into checking some extra stuff, then no, that's not gonna happen. I see Tail actually getting keylogged in Turt Rock, which means that you have to get the rest of Turt Rock by mirroring. So it's actually mirror required to go clear Turt Rock and the sea. But they're actually gonna float away. Maybe they're not thinking. Oh yeah, because they can't actually mirror into Turt Rock because they don't have mitts or hookshot yet. But they're leaving the mountain, unfortunately. So we're skipping over for a bit longer. into Eastern we go. That's gonna give them the hook shot. That's good. It's gonna lead them up to the mountain again to get pretty much almost everything else we need for go mode except for the bow. All we can hope for is that we also check the old man on the return trip, because at this point it's definitely possible that Tail might be thinking they already did that. Because they have the lamp and everything to do it in sequence.
Alright, blue for bomb jump, red for something else. That's how I remember it.
Yeah. Don't need to have a name for both of them as long as you know what one of them means, right?
Red for go ahead, that's what it was.
So I think Qirn going for the stair glitch here, but missing it. I think Qirn skipped the first chest here, but it's gonna check the freezer. This one makes a lot of sense to check. And wow, you're gonna be kidding me. That's lucky.
That paid. That's why it's always a good idea to check those along the way incidental things. Yeah.
You should not be able to be that lucky. Because we know where the last sword is, so there's only one sword extra out there somewhere.
Alright, yeah, Qirn is probably now feeling perfectly happy. He has everything he needs. He's not going to care about that gold sword.
Yeah, especially since his left side swamp is for that matter. So yeah, we're definitely not going to see that. Half magic would be nice, but I don't think we're going to see Qirn go very much out of their way at all for opening extra chests at this point.
Alright, be careful. Alright, there we go. That's gold stair.
So, alright, Qirn they don't have the myths yet, so Qirn can't just flute to 6 and use that portal. We're gonna have to use this portal instead. Because just like in a normal mode, the portal at the different locations, they're blocked by what they normally are blocked in a normal standard or open sea. So 6 would be mid-slot, and same would be on the Death Mountain ones. So it takes a little bit longer, but you have boots, you can use the dash all the way. So it's not very much, it's not bad at all. Tail's back up on Death Mountain, but once again, we are skipping the old man. So at this point, I'm gonna have to assume that they're probably thinking they already checked out.
It could be easy to forget about it and revert it if you use the flippers, or if you use the flute to get up here.
It's super easy to forget stuff almost in any seed, really.
True.
Just like one single like misstep, and it's so easy to just mentally check that off. there's our boots. Boots that actually are required as well for desert. So that's a nice pickup, and it's always nice just getting boots overall. Just makes the game not only faster, but more fun as well. So,
sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just saying is that I don't think if Tail knows fake flippers, then he might be fine.
Yeah, like by logic we need the flippers, but we don't strictly need it. Yeah, if we fake flipper over to get the bow, and then we can fake flipper into ice pods as well, and at that point that would be go mode for Tail, for sure. The only problem is having so many things open now. It's probably gonna make those fake flippers a pretty like low priority, I would imagine. Especially since it's a little bit it's less convenient to do it in inverted as well, because you can't use Flu to aid and be in the light world and do the fake flippers. You would have to actually travel over there in the light world to begin with.
Alright. 1, 2, 2.5, 3.
So that is 7 crystals for Qirn. Now I believe we do some kind of a game. We do the game in League, right?
I think so.
Okay, yeah, there's 22 locations in Ganon Tower where the big key can be. So if you want to guess where that is, that would be a number between 1 and 22. And if you're a subscriber or you have donated 250 bits or more to Speed Gaming, you can be on our leaderboard if you're the first one to have the correct guess.
Is Tile Room a number?
That would normally be 22, or in Qirn's case, probably number 3.
We shall see, I suppose.
Yeah, so Qirn has a strat that he likes to do, which is if you don't get a small key in the first 2 chests, he likes going Tile Room. He calls it living in a prayer because it's not a Tile Room gamble. That's very important for Qirn. It's not a Tile Room gamble. So in that case, you're hoping to get big key or a small key in Tile Room, and if you get a small key, you go full right.
So people are probably wondering, why is he going to Aga Tower? Well, in inverted, Aga Tower is Ganon's tower, and you open it up with 7 crystals after you check your map.
Aga got promoted and now lives in Ganon's tower.
Oh, did he do like a glitch?
Yeah, so if you do a bow dash into Ganon's tower in inverted, I actually learned this yesterday from Qirn. You can skip the animation, the crystal animation, which is weird. I don't know why that works, but apparently it does.
That's pretty cool. Is that just inverted only, or?
Yeah, I believe so, because it only works in Hyrule Castle. There's Harridan for Tail. So getting progression done. Probably gonna head back to Tartarok after this.
4 bombs, 5 a small key. 6, 10 arrows. 7, piece of heart.
Yeah, and it's also interesting getting a small key, not going to the right side first. I know that's something that Qirn likes to do. Not really what the meta at the moment is. I think the general meta is small key in the first 2. Most people probably go to the right side.
Number 9, Titan's Mitts.
Hey, mitts again is tower. That's something you would not see in a normal seed, because mitts are required for at the very least 3 dungeons, or well, always for 3 dungeons in standard or normal seeds. Yeah, that's the power of mirror. You can just have the mitts in Ganon's tower instead.
10, 20 rupees. 11, another 20 rupees. 13, and 14. 13, 10. We're at 13, yes. I need to learn how to count. Chest number 14, 20 rupees. Chest 15, Cane of Burna. 16 is the map, and 17 is bombs. Ooh.
Yeah, so it looks like it's somewhere on the right side. If it's in Tab Room or in Compass Room, I guess we're about to see.
Alright.
Okay. Yeah, I think Qirn is just gonna reset this room. Just like wait the torch out and try this again. Has full magic system around. Use an extra bonk for some reason. Not sure why. One bonk made sense because the torch was still on, but then one more because why not? Bonking is fun.
Tail is fighting Trinex right now. Hopefully he has... He may... Alright, no, he has a blue potion.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Took care of the ice head first, which is a pretty neat strategy, especially if you're not super comfortable that you will be able to take down the fire head before the ice head starts shooting ice. This way, you won't have to worry about all that ice on the floor. And there's the big key for Qirn. That was number 20, I guess? Yeah.
Yep. Oh boy.
Tail going for the hammer hits there at the last phase, doing them beautifully and taking down Trinex. So question is, where do they go from here? Probably to Desert, because that's another crystal they can full clear. Ice Palace is still out of logic, so they might not do that for a while. But it's a potential that you can do if you're not really worried about the flippers and you're just looking for bow. You also get the free hints. So it's definitely a potential play that would totally not be... I would not call that a bad play at all, but it would just be unfortunate if that's the play now. Unless one of the hints actually tells them where bow or flippers are.
Alright.
So Qirn is now in the gauntlet. A couple of fun rooms to do with different enemies, conveyor belts, traps, ice, just like normal random fun stuff that you totally want to do.
So, notice that Qirn actually switched back to normal arrows to the save relay.
Yeah, that's a pretty neat way of doing it. Doesn't have the lamp, so doesn't want to use the fire rod here in the last room as well. Want to make sure that you save that magic for the top, because they also like Qirn also used his blue potion, so definitely gonna have to think about that magic usage. Because that would be kind of a nightmare scenario. You get up to the first room and you don't have enough magic. But get some extra arrows, because we want to make sure we have enough for Ganon. Very considerate, just sharing arrows with everyone. You get an arrow and you get an arrow. Ganon gets 4. So yeah, Taale is now over in the desert area. So will be another crystal, and this dungeon it won't be too much of a difference in terms of go moding it, because you almost had to go like full clear in go mode as well. So
Alright, yeah, Qirn realizes he didn't have the lamp. Just have to get the refill.
yeah. I just looked. Okay, Qirn, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That's what I realized just happened. I looked away and I was like, heard him fall, and I was like, yeah, Qirn doing Qirn stuff. And I look back and I see Qirn doing Qirn stuff. So does have the powder, but it's almost at full health anyways. Does have a fairy, so health is not the big issue. Getting the full magic though, that's definitely something we want to have for the fight upcoming. Goes for 2 slashes here, so well, the first one was a dash, but it's the same damage as a slash, so had to go for a third one. Not gonna check that last chest. Guess no half magic for Qirn this rate.
And no time for that.
Yeah, I wonder if he feels behind or not. Like, he go moded for dungeons, so that in general would make me feel that you would feel ahead. Especially since you sequence broke a couple of things, but at the same time you almost last location the big key in Ganon's tower, which could make a pretty big time difference as well. So it's really hard to tell. I know when I play, I always feel behind no matter what happens. So yeah, stress can definitely get you.
Alright, that's another thing with inverted. There's the Ganon hole.
Yeah, you thought back of escape was the secret room in Hyrule Castle. This is the real secret room. This explains why people can get to the Triforce room from escapes sequence when they just jump into the walls.
You got to resolve those lore inconsistencies. Qirn made quick work again in phases 1 and 2.
Yeah, it has silvers and has triple the amount of areas they will need. So really what they have to look at most for here is not taking damage and accidentally falling off. And as we saw earlier, Qirn is not always the best at not falling off ledges, so anything can happen.
It's triple? Maybe? Yes.
Maybe, yeah, it is.
Alright, get your GGs in chat for Qirn. And Qirn is finished with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 36 minutes, 42 seconds.
Yeah, GG's.
We'll see if we can get Qirn in here for an interview. Alright, and we are joined by Qirn. GG, Qirn.
Hey, thanks. How about that Ganon's Tower, am I right?
Yeah,
Hey.
perfect running.
Thank you. And perfect execution too, right?
Yeah, like tactical jumping down from ledges repeatedly.
Yeah. Well, that was actually RNG manipulation. I don't know if you noticed, but the Aga 2 fight was possible for you to do a 2 cycle. I just messed it up, but I was just manipulating some RNG there.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to announce that Tail has forfeited the race.
GG's, Tail.
Yeah,
GG
sorry
Tail.
to hear that. We'll see if Tail wants to get in here as well. So one of the main things that put Tail behind was not fake flippering over to Sora, but actually walking over there, so they didn't get the bow. And then we assumed that Tail forgot that they had not checked the old man, so they didn't get the flippers to put them back on the track.
Wait, how does flippers put you back on track?
Because the bow was flippers locked.
Oh yeah, right. It was in Waterfall Fairy Cave. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
So they're playing to their team names too hard. They're like, I can't go to the old man because I'm against old Swagger Jackson.
I mean, to be fair, their name is Missing Bow, so
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were playing the meta game.
you should have done that too. You just go to Aga.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It worked for you, your last tournament match.
So, what's your thoughts? I'll have to see.
I thought that the early game was really linear, which had me bummed out, and then the light world overworld just sucked. Like you got nothing, and it just sucked because you didn't have mirror for a while. Maybe you did have mirror. I forget. I just remember like hating it and being like, I could be losing all the time here. Oh yeah, and happy birthday, Walter.
Yeah, thanks. I did wish for this to happen, not necessarily like this. So I guess you're good for this time, right?
You got your birthday wish. So does this mean I don't have to get you anything?
Sure. But yeah, the overworld was it's kind of weird. It was pretty empty. Like you got a couple of things, but they didn't really unlock much. Didn't really unlock until that hookshot that opened up like the rest of the city.
Yeah. Yeah, in Eastern Palace. So yeah, if you didn't, I guess yeah, because I got the bow, which led me to Eastern, which then gave me a hookshot. So yeah, oh my god, yeah, if you didn't get that, that would have sucked.
Yeah, because Tail got the hookshot like the intended way of double dipping Eastern.
Yeah, logically, this seed wasn't very fun.
Yeah, the lamp was in Super Bunny Cave, so they wanted you to go up the mountain and get the lamp, and then go grab the flippers, and then go grab the bow, and then go to Eastern.
Which means you're clearing the mountain the slow way, too.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
And you don't even get to like the boots when you go up the mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The seed was nasty in logic, and even out of logic, like the light world overworld really sucked.
Yeah. So how about that tempered sword, by the way? That was pretty lucky.
I just totally blanked on checking the first chest, and then I'm glad I opened that chest. But I mean, I don't know that I saved too much time with the tempered sword. I mean, it was definitely worth opening the chest to get it, but I was actually kind of hoping I would get to do a Master Sword Ganon fight. Or that the seed would force you to do a Master Sword Ganon fight, because it would have like big key on Torch or something, and then the other sword would be deep in Ganon's tower.
Yeah. I did see you practice a bit of Master Sword fight before the race started.
Yeah. So I guess
that feast was pretty interesting. Just empty.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Like Village of Outcast itself was pretty good. You got like a bottle to do the potion glitch if you wanted to, but you obviously didn't want to do that. And then you got Hammer and Mirror. Like that was the overworld spots in Outcast, and then Feast was just like, nope, nothing. Don't go in here.
Yeah, I almost bomb jumped over to the east side of the Dark World before I got the hammer in the Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, I saw you're heading in that direction. Tail actually ended up bomb jumping over to that side of the Dark World.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What for?
We're not sure. But probably mind gaming you, showing who's best at the bomb jump.
I was considering it for like if I had I was like, oh, I'm gonna go check Catfish because it's always out of the way in inverted. Very rarely can you route it in with anything. But I forgot I didn't have a glove, so that's what made me change my mind.
Yeah, that could actually have been the same thought process that Tail had when they did the bomb jump.
By the way, I just want to shout out glitching those mimics.
Yeah.
To get them off screen without using the bottle.
That was a total mistake. I mean, I really should have got a bottle, but I was on my way to pot already, or a potion, and I was like, oh crap, I forgot to buy one. So I just had to do the mimic clips. I definitely lost time over just buying a potion.
Yeah, it's a nice backup strat at the very least.
Yeah, or when you don't have a bottle, especially in inverted, that can be really useful.
I guess in retrospect, it would have the best time save would have not done the bottle glitch at all. But it definitely makes sense to go for it when you're there. You don't want to leave progression behind in like impendent pod.
Yeah, but check out that 5:21 menu time though because of it.
It's almost 1:30.
Very close.
Yeah, it's less than 5 minutes to it.
Yeah, it would have absolutely been faster to do it, to not do it, and I would have been able to deduce that there was an item in the big chest and on Helma, but that could have also made me go back into pod after doing Eastern, because instead of there being one item in there, there'd be two. So that could have also lost me time, because then I might have ended up doing Helma.
Was there ever a world where you thought about that, going into pod after Eastern? Because you had like basically every overworld spot in Death Mountain and 2 crystals that all were full clearable.
Well, I didn't have the hook shot yet, and I didn't want to go up the mountain without Light World East Side access.
Well, you had that after Eastern.
Yeah. But when I went into Eastern, I was thinking,
doing pod, yeah.
that's when I was debating. I was like, do I go into pod or not? And I had decided even before I found the hook shot that I would go up Death Mountain first. Because again, I felt that doing the mimic clip in pod, it'd be like doubling back on having done the mimic clip if I went back in to go do Helma, in a way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I guess that brings us to 12 points.
Guess it does, yeah. See Mark in the chat looking at you.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. We're all counting on you. So yeah, I think this. I'm not sure if we have any more league games today.
It doesn't appear to be so. There are more tomorrow though. We've got GF. Sir, go ahead.
No, you take it.
Yeah. So we have Sphere Affinity and Finandra Drifters. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm probably wrong. And then also Blind Bandoliers versus Fure. We'll do an interview. I love that name. Those are tomorrow at 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, and this entire week will be inverted since the league goes by the schedule of certain modes for certain weeks. So if you like inverted, definitely keep an eye out for the schedule and all the matches that are coming up. I believe it's going to be like, what? How many races are there per week? There's like there's a lot of them.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head.
Not all of them get restreamed, but so far a lot of them have. So it's definitely worth checking out all of the Speed Gaming channels for that, and also the Link to the Past League channels on Twitch as well. There's 2 of them, Link to the Past Randomizer League 1 and 2, right? Or the first one doesn't have a number.
Yeah, it's ALTTPR League and then ALTTPR League 2.
Yeah, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Do you have anything else you want to add, Qirn, about the race or the league, or just anything, really?
Nope, just good games to Taal. I was honestly a little frightened about Inverted, because although I love the game mode, it can be really volatile. And when I was going through the light world, I was getting really nervous about it. So it looks like the volatility happened to lean over into my favor, and Taal got the short end of the volatility stick this time. Because and then ending up doing it in logic. So that just, I think, a big part of it's luck. To be honest, this could have gone a very different way. But yeah, GG, Taal.
Yeah, and GG's to you as well. Looking forward to seeing more races, and thanks to Literally Jen, by the way, tracking today. Literally Jen tracking a lot of games, so like we have so many trackers that do a lot of work that doesn't most of the times goes unseen in one way. So definitely major shout outs to all the trackers helping out. And if you like Link to the Past, by the way, we do have the open weekly that starts in about 40 minutes, I believe. That's going to be on the main Speed Gaming channel, so definitely check that out if you want to see more Link to the Past. And I've been Waterforth, and I'll let you sign us off.
Yeah, and I've been Sinak. Have a good night. Day.